Hello everybody, and welcome. Hi, there you are. And welcome to Dungeons & Dragons Valkyrie, a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign where a bunch of complete strangers who met on Reddit actually become the best of the friends while playing Dungeons & Dragons live for you every Monday night at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am your host and Dungeon Master for the evening, creator of this channel, TheMajestic, which you can find just by searching TheMajestic on YouTube, and the YouTube channel is there, or you can go to twitch.tv/TheMajesticGaming, G-A-M-I-N, no G, as well as just by going to youtube.com/TheMajestic, and again, all these videos get uploaded there, but I am joined by the same incredible group as last time, who I will let introduce themselves, starting with Rachel, who has a webcam today. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. First hello, and like in person more so. Hi.
I'm Rachel, and I play our half-elven rogue, Meira Helder.
Perfectly done. And Justin, say hello.
Hi. Are we really still complete strangers? Are we sticking with that? It's been like 6 months.
I know, but a bunch of strangers who met on Reddit and become the bestest of friends while playing Dungeons & Dragons. I know, but that's just like the whole theme of the entire campaign. We were strangers, we're becoming bestest of friends.
Alright. Anyway, I'm Justin. I am the Fire Genasi Warlock known as Ashmar Efri.
Perfect. And Brandon, say hello.
Hello, I play Jax, the Black Dragonborn Paladin.
And let's all give a congratulations to Brandon too. Yay, he's a newly father as well. Congratulations on that. And oh my gosh, that's just so awesome. Starting families and
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing.
But today, and let's do this a bit more so and let you guys see who we have up at the front panel. We are going to go ahead and join in where we left off. Oh, before we do that, though, I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to, first off, at JMool, J-M-O-O-L, on Reddit, who made this incredible artwork as like a panel of like one of the funnier moments in the campaign, which was just so awesome of them to do that. Also a huge thank you to @CarlyMatson on Twitter, who's done incredible artwork for us, as well as a huge thank you to Kevin MacLeod for making the free music, which you're hearing in the background of this, which he makes available for everyone to be able to use, which is just awesome that he does that with this artwork as well. But we're going to go ahead and get right back into where we left off. In the last episode, we learned that well, actually, just before the last episode, we learned that the diplomat from Thornapple was none other than Meira's mother, Beth Golddigger Miller, who, in the last episode, she tried to sort of convince Meira that she might have possibly changed. Who knows? Meira didn't do an insight check, so not her. But she might have changed. She's telling Meira that she only did the gold digging things that she did so that her and her brothers would have a more lavish lifestyle growing up without a father. She also claimed, though, to have lived in Thornapple for the good number of months that led up to this gala that they all met at. And that would have ended up being a good number of the months that Meira was away, too, on her journeys throughout the Underdark and with the adventures that she's with now. She also ended up meeting the Peter Flynn that Meira was looking for. She had not the best intel, and he told her F. Flynn or something, K. Flynn. But she got very defensive about Peter Flynn when Meira tried telling her that he's probably very responsible for all the poisoning stuff. Sorry if you hear fireworks in the background. It is a few days to the 4th of July, of course. But yeah, she got very defensive about Peter Flynn. She says that she knows him very well, and that she can attest to his character. But while Meira was having this bit of a revelation with her mother, Brandon, or I should say Jax, went around making sure that there was no poison in any of the food in this lavish ball that's going underway. So far it's just been a few of the appetizers and such, but as he went inside the kitchen to double check and make sure that there was nothing there, and he couldn't find anything there, and while he did that, Zash went ahead and talked to some of the more noble partygoers that were at this occasion as well. Where we left off, the group at the head table had just walked out, and there was a little bit of fanfare as they entered into the room. It drew the attention of almost everybody there, except for more so the knights, who were paying attention to everybody else. They walked out, and Lord Eowyn spoke first. Thank you so much for joining all of us, everyone. It is so incredible to have you here this evening, and such a testament to our resolve to be able to still throw this ball after the tragedies that have taken place this week. I want to thank everyone from out of town who's been able to make it here, our diplomats from all over the world, from Cornish to Thornapple, as he points to Meira's mother as the two of them are now heading out of the bathroom. As she catches his eye as she walks out. He continues, though, to speak, not drawing too much on the sight of her, but speaking to everyone in the room. For giving us your faith and coming to the Citadel in such a tremendous time, I truly thank you. I have faith that this quarantine will be resolved very soon, and have faith that whatever the cause of such terrible, terrible loss was, we will have it controlled very soon. Now, I will stop taking up your time for the time being, but we will, of course, dance and be merry for now. And I just want everyone to enjoy the feast and enjoy the music. Dance, have fun, drink ale, drink wine, and have a ball. Cheers. Most everyone goes, cheers, in the background as you hear the audience cheer out. And once again, everybody goes back to their sort of conversations amongst each other and themselves.
While I'm kind of near there, just out of curiosity, I'm going to use my Divine Sense.
Okay.
Which is a 60-foot
cube?
Radius.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are definitely near there. I'm going to say that with the setup of everything, like, this is more like 2.5 feet. So I'm going to say that's 5, 10, 15, 20... What, or no, is it 5 feet? No, it's 2.5. Alright. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, you're definitely close enough. And so what does that entail exactly?
1 second. I can detect great, evil, or good.
That's true.
Okay. I also know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead. But I don't think I know specifically who or what. Like, I just sense it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a little bit different then. You do sense... Actually, I'm gonna say that you sense a little bit of good. A little bit of like rather good. It's not like as strong as like the sense of truly righteous person, like maybe Delilah. If you've ever like just got accustomed to her aura, it's not quite that strong, but it's just seems like a rather strong good. But then there is also a very, very strong dark aura coming as well. There is a very, very powerful darkness. You do not sense any undead, though. You do not sense any... really anything other than humanoid.
Okay.
Most of them seem just humanoid. But
I think to the group, one of them is very evil.
Okay. And when they come out, it is quite a mishmash of people. You see that Lord Eowyn is often speaking to his wife, or the other guy who looks very similar to him. Your best guess would be that he might be his brother, or something along those lines. Then we have here the guy who he... when they all came out one by one, they were sort of announced with all the fanfare and things like that, one at a time. And this guy was announced as Flynn. But Meira, he actually does not match any of your intel's description. Which you don't know if it is just bad intel or if it's something different. He doesn't seem to be quite what you had pictured. Certainly not. I mean, he sort of looks like Orlando Bloom, but that's irrelevant to the
I was just thinking
model
that.
character.
Yeah, he does. He looks like Orlando Bloom from the Pirates films.
That's
I don't remember where I got the specific info from,
Yeah.
though, because it wasn't from my initial source.
Nope, that is correct.
I can't remember who said that.
I
I think it might have been the Minotaurs, but I can't remember.
No, this was long before the Minotaurs.
I can't remember them.
You,
Hold on, I can tell you when it was. It was before the Citadel, but
Yeah, it was back before you guys went into the Underdark that you got your information about all that you knew about Peter Flynn. I'm pretty sure that was part of your backstory.
no, all I
Wasn't
knew
it?
was his name.
Wasn't
Was
it while we were in that
I
first
asked-
town?
Was
I
it?
can't remember. I had asked someone
I think so.
after the Underdark what he looked like. I think it was the Minotaurs. Because I have the notes in right after I had notes from the Minotaurs. So I think it was them.
I'm not so sure about the Minotaurs. If anything, I would think that a person in the city told you. Maybe one of the merchants, I thought. Because the
Hold on, I think it
Minotaurs
might have.
just knew that...
I think it might have been Ava then, probably.
Okay. The Minotaurs just knew that they were being... they had been taken to the Underdark, that there was something going on with the people in the Citadel and such. But you do notice that there are a couple of what appears to be different looking just people around. A gentleman with very dark sunken eyes, a woman with bleached blonde hair, and a large man wearing a gold mask. Which all seem to stand out just as much, though, as everyone else in this lineup. It is quite a lineup indeed. But then, of course, there's everybody walking around. Again, the person that Zashmar is talking to, who sells almost, or owns almost all of the ware shops in the entire Citadel. But yeah. Is there anything that you guys would like to do? Again, the band is starting to play up now. They're more so
Also,
off to the back.
I also just think to the group that I did what I wanted to do. I did my walkthrough. I didn't detect any poison, and that I did sense that one of those people in that lineup is very evil, or they're a very dark presence.
Could you pinpoint who it was?
I cannot.
So there was some good, and then a big mess of evil.
Mm-hmm. Could be the same person. I don't know.
Hmm. I'll probably just... I want to stand in a corner and try and get a look around the room.
Okay. As you and your mother walked out of the women's restroom. That's your mother, by the way. Let's see. Do you want to go to the far back corner over here by the knight? Almost all the corners have a knight stationed in them.
I'd say probably center back. I don't know if you can. I'm pointing at nothing. But in between the two knights, I'm like pointing at the screen, but it doesn't look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back over here. By that table.
Yeah, that works.
Scouting out.
Just keeping an eye out.
Do me a favor. Just go ahead and roll like a I'll say a stealth roll. Just to try and be nonchalant about it, you know?
Oh, God. 7.
Okay. The guard nearest
natural
you...
2.
The guard nearest you in fact, all the guards, you notice, have their hand or a hand at the ready on their sword almost all the time. But this guard is sort of looking at you just a little bit, but he continues to look around everywhere, and then his eye catches you again, and he's just...
I just give a little wave.
He nods his head. Doesn't say anything, though. Doesn't approach.
And I start walking back to Meira's mom.
Okay. Do you walk up to her?
I just walk in that direction and
Okay.
kind of like play it more like a bodyguard, like standoffish sort of, not right on her.
All right. Which way do you go?
I probably
There
would
she
just
is.
cut right through.
Just here?
Yeah.
Okay. Then sort of turn like this. All right. Again, you had inspected the kitchen already. Most of the people in the kitchen were preparing humongous pots of food, none of which lit up with any sort of poison detected or anything like that. Just everybody preparing all sorts of humongous trays of stuff. Oh no, that's a vase. Okay.
And I didn't sense anything on the like group up front, right? Like with the Lord and all that.
With poison?
Yeah, because you
Correct.
said it was still going when I came out, and I was
Yep.
in range for at least a moment with them. Okay.
Correct. You do not sense any poison on their person or really even residue of any sorts of poison, which sometimes can be noticed with that.
That's kind of what I was hoping would happen.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Sometimes it can. Well, I don't know. Sometimes it... Yeah, in this world, sometimes it can. It
Okay.
can. But, yeah, you don't really notice anything like that.
All right.
Okay. Then as you guys are getting situated in your different little areas, and Zash, I'm assuming, continues to talk to these group. And just to make sure, Zash, you decided to leave the puppers behind last one in the hotel?
Yeah, they're at the end.
Okay.
We come back to an inn, burning to the ground.
Why do you think I asked? No.
They hit me anyway.
What? The puppers love you. Oh, the innkeeps?
People in the town.
Oh, the people in town. Gotcha. Yeah, sorta. Alright. As you guys do that, you guys notice that the first what would appear to be the first course starts to make its way out. A couple of these poor servants, each one of them carrying a cauldron of liquid like the size of themselves, just walking out with these humongous things and bringing them over to the tables set up along the sides. One at a time, these are set up, and without even saying a word, almost all the people in attendance just start making their way over to different seats. It does seem to be very, very arranged seating. You guys do not have any, though. And you notice, too, that, and it's probably because of the situation that happened a couple days ago, there aren't as many people as there are these chairs set up, or tables even. And as they all start to take their seats, I'd say about these 4 tables over here just have nobody sitting at them.
And I do have to ask, does anybody else have their own personal guard other than us?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. In fact, this would be all of you making this, just a check.
22.
2.
So close.
20 adjusted.
Nice. All right. Very quickly, Meira and Zash notice that across the way there are, as Lady Miller goes here, and as the 2 twins sit by her, though I didn't have any characters for them, across the way there is a very similar sight where, a couple of diplomats are sitting down and a couple of bulkier looking people are standing around, not really awares of where to go, but they, nope, that's not one of them. This is one of them. They just stand around there and are sort of just keeping an eye on stuff as their diplomats also sit down.
And are all of those groups of bodyguards and groups of 3 like us, or are they
there are
different
2
sets of
people
members?
standing over here, and what would appear to be 1 girl standing over here.
Okay.
But that seems to be about it that you guys made out.
I also think to the group, does anybody have any sort of plan here? I didn't detect anything, and that was pretty much my plan.
Eek.
I'm still just
assume-
hoping to transform into someone and peruse at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking I would probably, one of us would sneak off and get a look around.
I doubt any of us really know much about any of these balls, but is there gonna be like some sort of dance or something? Like at some point, will they be like more interactive with each other and kind of distracted?
Oh yeah, you guys know that with any of these outings or balls, no matter how fancy, once the alcohol more so starts to kick in, they encourage the drinking of the very fine meads that they have on tap and the very, very expensive and lavish wines that they have. Almost, you guys can even tell too that it's almost like they're bragging to show off just their wealth with these wines and things like that. Once those tend to kick in any of these balls or gatherings or even just a tavern lively night, the dancing starts to come out with a lot of the music after the main course, more so.
Okay. Yeah, then I just think to the group to wait until that moment. Definitely one of you guys sneak off. I think the only dragonborn in the room would definitely be noticed walking out, so...
With no spells to shield his looks or anything like that either.
Right. So I'll hang out here.
Sounds good.
Meira, do you make your way over to the table, or do you still stand over here?
I'll make my way over to the closest table that isn't occupied.
Okay, that'd be this one here.
Closest table to the occupied ones, so probably the one in the center.
Yeah.
Just to get a look around.
All right. At the same table as Beth Miller is the gentleman and his wife who has all the shops. And then a couple of ladies who had been talking amongst themselves over in 3 of the other ones, and the twins, and an open seat. You guys all sit down and, well, sorry, not you guys, but they all sit down. You guys just stand there. But you guys notice very, very quickly that the moment everyone just starts taking their seats, without hesitation, the wait staff are there to make sure that nobody goes wanting for any food or drink when they're ready for it. They start coming out with the big bowls as well with that they've poured from the cauldron of what appears to be a very nice stew or beef broth or something that just smells very, very effervescent of meat, and everybody just starts sipping on that and drinking their mead or wine or whichever they have and conversing amongst themselves. Jax, you're over here in the back. Zash, you're right here. And Meira, you are over here. After the first course is concluded, once again Lord Eowyn stands up and sort of takes it. He has a much larger chalice than anyone else in the room, made of pure solid gold. It's not quite this large, but this is as small as I can make this scale by wanting him to have the chalice. He stands up and he clings it very loudly with a very with just a silver knife that is there as well, and says, "Ah, what a lovely, lovely meal. That is just, of course, the first course, but we will have a number after this. But I cannot dare continue on in the evening without giving a huge thanks to Mr. Flynn." As everyone starts very calmly just clapping and just smiling and very contained, or what's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank on the word. I apologize. Just very civil cheer. He says, "It is with him that we were able to put this whole thing together. In fact, this room, of course, is mostly kept for other means, most of the larger city dealings, but he found the woodworkers and paid for each and every chair and table that you're sitting on. He brought in all the food, and as he does do such an incredible job making sure that all the trade within our city goes so smoothly, and make sure that it is the trading hub of the entire land. He made sure that we had plenty of nourishing and delicious food and drink for this evening. Hear, hear. Everybody, hear, hear." And then everybody once again applauds. Well, some applaud, some drink, and another excuse for them to get a bit more ale within their system. You guys do know, go ahead and give us, no. Actually, I'm going to say with your guys' other perception check, it's still lasting. Meira and Zash, you both also notice that as he cheers that, everybody puts up their drink. It's very obvious, though, because at the front, these 3 here do not drink. They put up their mug, and then they set it down on the table once he says, "Here, here." They don't take a sip.
But everyone else at the main table does.
Correct.
Zash thinks out. Jax, do you have any way to maybe circle around and do your little detect poison trick over by those guys?
I can get as close as I can. These guards might not like it, though. I start making my way over there, and when I get close, within 30 feet, I cast a detect poison.
Help me. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw a main line between them. Let me know, say stop when I get close to like where you'd like to.
I don't want to get too close.
Let me see. Let's see from his. It's
I want to see like what the
15, 20.
Do you want to move over to like this side in between these candlesticks over here?
20.
Yeah, that would be 30. At least to Lord Eowyn's cup.
It's just a perimeter check. What are they gonna do?
I'll
Stab him with a spear?
I'll start it there and then kind of like walk straight across to get everybody's cup, and then just kind of like circle back to Meira's mom. Yeah.
Okay.
Just making it look like I'm doing like a routine check kind of a thing.
And this is all after you notice. Well, you were told that they didn't drink out of their cup.
Yeah, by Zash. Zash asked me to do this. So.
All right. Yep. As you do that and try and detect poison, you don't notice anything emanating from any of the cups at the front. You continue to walk around. People who are just eating and drinking and being merry. You don't notice anything from the food as you walk by this tray of cauldrons here. You don't notice anything special about the broth.
Okay. I think back to the group and just say I didn't detect anything.
Huh. And I thought I was being pretty clever. Oh well.
It's gonna be a lot harder than I thought.
So do you guys all remain in your spots? Do you guys do anything else special?
I think for now, I'm just going to stay where I am, just because if I try to leave the room, it would be noticeable.
Yeah, Jax can't really leave because he is kind of more like sticking out than anybody else. He's gonna stick with the job that they're supposed to be there for and make it kind of look like that's what he's there doing. But just kind of keeping an eye out for anything else weird, like people not drinking things or.
Yeah.
Do we think that everyone is in this room?
Yeah, actually, just, I don't need an intelligence check. You guys feel very confident that almost everyone is here. The only people who aren't would be the servants in the kitchen, or possibly walking around just making sure everything else is tidy, just one or two of them, and the guards that have been guarding the off-access areas, the restricted areas.
Ooh, I think to Zash and Meira and say, maybe you should leave together so if you're caught, you can pretend to be a young couple just looking for a place to, you know, be a lot better than just a single noble.
The last time we tried that trick, we got killed by pixies.
You got killed by pixies. I didn't get a scratch on me.
I
But if you
don't
want,
think there's
we
any
can
pixies
try that.
here.
I still have the dress in my bag of holding.
I mean, I'm always up to break some rules, but I don't know. I'm scared.
Guys,
All of my plans end up in danger, so.
Yeah, your track record isn't that great.
Right.
I mean, in order to get to the bottom of this, I think we have to risk it. We're not going to find anything out by just hanging out here.
Yep.
Easy for you to say from the safety of this room.
Well, maybe when people get drunk, I'll go up to the three that didn't drink and see why they didn't drink.
But for now, I think we should wait until the actual festivities start. It'll be easier to get out.
Right.
And who knows? People might let down their guard a little bit.
Fair enough. We will go ahead and fast forward then. 2 more courses end up arriving out. One of them appears to be just a lavish greens, fruits, veggies kind of deal with either salads or fruit salads of sorts. that again is brought to everybody as they're sitting there by the service staff, and then a much more gallant is actually, you guys watch just pots and pots and pots of roast turkey or chicken. Either it is just a adequately large turkey or a humongous chicken, you cannot tell. It is just like a very, very large bird. Coming out on plate after plate after plate, it would appear as though they not only overestimated the amount of chairs that they would need, but the amount of food that they would too, as these humongous beasts of birds are brought out and slowly, we'll say like carved up and put on plates, and just very, very quickly, very neatly served to everybody at a single table, one at a time. Then they move on to the next table, everybody at the table one at a time. But of course they have little workstations set up over here now. They moved all this stuff down, and they continually, the poor wait staff has to move every bit down, every course down the tables as they continue. So like then they have to pick up all these cauldrons, move them down, then they have to pick up all the, But they come out with that course, and then finally, like a little dessert actually too. It's not really a course, but they just have a couple of plates of, it seems different for each person. Some of them are like chocolate cake, some of them appear to be pie. It would appear as though whatever they wanted for any dessert, these chefs ended up making that one special. They're completely different for almost every person. Yeah, I would say that Lord Eowyn was about done with the speeches, but they're all up there having a really gallant time. Lord Eowyn, his wife, Peter Flynn, assumed his brother, and this woman over here, they all seem to be drinking and being very merry. The other ones just seem to be quiet, staring amongst their food and amongst each other. They don't appear to be eating very much either. But everyone else, again, is drinking up, having a very merry time, and so much so that, like, the guards have gone a good bit more on ease now. They, the festivities are underway. I mean, there's maybe another 2 hours left. It's halfway through the night, and they feel rather confident that everything is good. They can relax and yeah.
Can I go up to one of the other people that were like kind of hired to watch after somebody, like bodyguards, not the actual guards, but
yeah, one of these guys over
And
here.
I do have a question about the
Yeah.
bodyguards. Have they eaten or drank anything, or are they not like us?
They have. Which ones? The personal bodyguards or the knights?
Yeah, the personal.
The personal bodyguards have not either. They've been standing
Okay,
around.
just making
Also,
sure.
so we're walking around a bit, just making sure that they live up to their share of the money. Yeah. Do you walk up? You walk up to this group over here, and guy says, "It's nice to meet you. Haven't seen you at the Fighters Guild before."
Yeah, we're all kind of new members.
Nice. Quite interesting that new members get such high detail. Details like this usually go to the more experienced members. But you guys must have joined with quite a high regard, I'm guessing, then.
Well, we did fight Gerald was his name, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
We did battle Gerald in the arena.
Gerald?
Each of us one-on-one, and we each defeated him. So
Ah. Very nice, very impressive. But, that being said, Gerald Evergrande only ever worries about the show itself anyway.
I noticed that. Do you know anything about the three joining Lord Eowyn on his left up there?
On his left. I didn't think too much of it.
Guess
They're
it
at
would be his right, but our left.
Nonetheless, they're at the head table. I mean, I didn't think too much of it, because the head table, if anything, are the ones we gotta protect most. I don't know who they are, but kudos to them to getting the best seats in the house, I suppose. Meanwhile, I wish that we could just take one of those empty seats over there. Nope.
So you've never seen them around before?
I have not, but that being said, I haven't been up here very much either.
That's
Not many
true.
of us have.
Good point, good point.
The main people up here are the ones who live up here, mostly in the justice system. Certainly not out-of-towners like yourself, that's very uncommon, but not even members of the Fighter Guild, usually.
Well, thanks for the little chit-chat. I gotta get back over there.
Alright.
I walk away.
Alright.
Think to the group. I still know nothing about those people.
Would I know anything about them? Like, would they look familiar at all?
You have never seen these person before in your life. Any of these persons.
Alright.
Alright, so again, everybody's dancing. They're all well-fed, well-drunk. What do you guys do?
If there was ever a time, it's now. I think to the Zash and Meira.
I'll try and, I'll try and sneak out the open door.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth roll for us.
Come on.
I'll go with her.
20!
Natural 20, nice. I'll say that with most of the room being lit by candlelight, it is still rather bright in here. But you know just the way to make it so that in the flickering glow of light that emanates throughout this building, 1 second you're there and the next, you're just gone.
I'll go with her. I'm not sure if you heard that.
Alright, go ahead and make a stealth check as well.
Okay. Already
I
did.
have a
'cause I wasn't sure
camera
if you
and I'm
heard
gonna milk it.
it. 23.
23. Alright. In the future, I'm just going to go ahead and ask that you guys roll when, asked to roll, just to be sure that you guys aren't like, hey, if I decide to do this, it'll be a 23, cool, and then decide to do it because you know.
Well, I said it, and then I rolled. I guess we
Fair
didn't.
enough. Fair enough. I just want to make sure of that, though. So yeah, I'll ask for rolls in the future. But you guys head out, and as you guys walk out, you guys are once again greeted by the overshadowing wonder of all these different statues, of all these different objects. The moment you guys walked in, you very clearly noticed that there is a giant warrior statue and a giant maiden statue right off to your right and left as you enter. And throughout some conversing, you guys even heard that Lord Eowyn and his wife like to assume that that's themselves, and that's why they put it there, is because they want to greet you the moment you walk in, yada yada yada. But there's also a beautiful dragon carved out of wood, just a giant different crystals of all sorts, a couple of weird looking golden devices, and these similar statues all throughout. And rugs and bearskin rugs and stuff like that. But you guys, as you continue to walk, you're greeted by the stairs on your right. You were greeted by the open walkway, continuing past the dragon as well.
Are there any guards in the room?
Both of you go ahead and make perception checks for me.
Natural 20 again with a different die.
Ooh, very nice.
+1.
6.
6, gotcha. Meira, you noticed that as you guys walked out of the one area, there were a couple of those knights that were still set up down the hall. Zash, you did not notice that, though. But luckily with your stealth, they never noticed you or anything like that. But that would appear to be all of the knights that you guys have come across so far.
Alright. Can I do a sweep around the room to see if there's anything like a loose brick or something that isn't quite right?
We're still gonna, since it's perception, we're still gonna say that that's the same one.
Okay.
You don't really notice any loose bricks or anything. Nothing that stands out here in the foyer. There is something really interesting about this abstract art or something. It certainly catches your eye. You don't know if it's because it's just so out there or if it's because there's something special about it. But
Can I investigate it further?
Yeah, go ahead and make a boy, what would this be? Where is it? Here it is. I would say an Arcana check.
Alright. I'll do Arcana +2.
Oh, actually, I'll give you the choice. Arcana or History. Whichever one is higher for you.
I think they're the same.
Okay.
So it's a 10 total.
10?
Yeah.
It's very different. That's all that you can tell from this. It looks like a very, very nice piece of abstract art.
Zash, does this look funny to you, or...
Since I failed my perception, can I do, like, an investigation to see it now? Or do I just not know what she's talking about?
You know what she's talking about. You see that. It's not that. It's so much as I feel like Meira wouldn't think that it would look funny enough to ask Zash if he thinks it looks funny, because
That's fair.
it just looked abstract.
Can I just, like, touch it?
Yeah. You touch it, go ahead and make a Constitution saving roll.
Oh, God. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Con save. That's 19.
19, nice. Yeah, nothing happens. Nothing happens. It's nice and cool. It's a nice, cool touch on your hand. Rather warm hand. This entire area, it seems to be, is rather warm. The heat of the poorly ventilated, with very few windows and only very high up, giant ballroom now is just pooling in that room. So getting out of there for a breath of fresh air is very understandable as well. You put your hand onto it, it sends a little shiver down your spine. It's nice. It's cool.
Is it, like, normal cool for metal or not?
Pretty normal cool for metal.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Zash, you see anything in here that looks out of place?
Sorry, cat is being obnoxious.
No worries.
While you shush your cat?
Well, when he won't shut up, I shush him. Go get him, Callie. Anyway. I don't know. Do I see anything? I can...
Nothing really. You're really caught off, not caught off guard, but you're really impressed by this, dragon. It's very
It does
nice.
look cool.
Yeah.
This weird, low poly dragon. I'm sure it looks more impressive in person.
Yeah. Carved entirely out of wood and about
It probably
2
has,
times
like,
the height of
detail
you
work
guys.
on the scales and stuff.
Yeah, if you guys have
amazing.
if you guys have ever seen the like any videos of like a walkthrough throughout the Bethesda studios, they have like some pretty impressive like real life dragons in there. Yeah, It's like one of those.
They have real life dragons?
Yeah, real life dragons. No, life size imitations of dragons is what I meant by it. But yeah, it's carved entirely out of wood and it looks very awesome.
Well, I'm gonna keep walking down the hall.
All right, you guys keep on walking, and again, we'll say that with your guys' stealth, everything is still good. It'll last for a while, but you do notice a couple more guards down here as you do that.
All right. Do they notice us?
You do. It's with the same perception, we'll say.
Well, no. Do they notice us?
They do not.
Okay. Can
They're
I
talking to
see if
each
the door
other
in front
right
of
now,
us
it would
is
seem.
locked?
Yeah. You walk over to it, and it is... It is not locked.
Okay. Do I remember any of the... Do I still have the blueprints?
You do.
Okay, I'm gonna take a step back so I'm out of their view just in case they start looking this way, and check the blueprints to see if I know where we're going.
Okay. Where is it that you're looking for in particular?
I just want to see if any of the rooms are listed, or if they're just, like, blocks on a page.
They're more so blocks on a page. The blueprints are more so set up for architectural detail, things like that, so that you know where all the emergency exits are, things like that. None of the rooms are labeled, but you can tell how big each room is, I suppose, and things like that, and where all the hallways are, but...
Okay. So yeah, I'll
It
go
doesn't show, like,
through that.
secret hallways or anything? Like, stuff that wouldn't be on the...
Well, probably not, but...
It does not show any such things.
Alright. Well, I'll go through that open door.
Okay.
Or the unlocked door.
And Zash goes with you?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys
And I would like to check this room to see if there's anything weird, just as we're going down the hallways.
As you're going down the hallway, the first door on your left, you open up the door. Nobody's inside. It appears to be a library set up with a very nice arcane-looking table inside of it. Rather versatile books. Not as big as the Citadel's library, but a bit more unique items inside of it.
You know more about magic. Do you want to look at that table?
Yeah, I can do an Arcana check.
All right, yep. Go ahead and make an
My
Arcana
terrible
check.
rolling stops. There we go. 21.
21, nice. You know that this is mostly set up for, like, sort of like enchanting tables kinds of things, or just to draw on ley lines of magic to really focus it on a centralized point in the center there. Sometimes it's used in very, very large scale spells where somebody will draw out even in chalk or something like that, just so long as it's drawn, so that, you know, it's set up so that there's more magic put to the very center. But this one just happens to have it carved into the wood itself, which just can add to an added boost to any sort of magic that you're trying to do within the very, very limited area of this smaller one.
Can we look around a little bit to see if there's any books that might be relevant to our interests of stopping this amulet?
Yeah,
I just want to see if there are any interesting books.
Yeah.
No particular, like, topic. Just
One
if
of
there's
our
anything that
goals here
catches
is-
my eye.
Make an investigation check again, both of you.
No.
Good grief.
9.
9.
9, hey!
9. Hey, you guys notice a couple of old books. Nothing really on the cover. It as you flip through it, it looks like it's a different language.
Do I know what it is?
What
What language?
Yeah, what are your
What
guys'
language?
languages again?
I speak Elvish, Common, and Undercommon.
Okay.
Common and primordial. But I can read all writing. So,
Oh,
I mean,
Okay.
I can.
yeah.
fair enough.
I love that feat. I don't get to use it enough.
Then you know that this
Which
book.
do you have?
Sorry, it's Eldritch Invocation.
Ah, okay.
I have eyes
yeah,
of the Runekeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know then that as you open it up, it just says farming in the Underdark. How to make the best out of your crops. So
Throw it away. Next.
Could I read that as well?
You could not though.
Uh,
It would appear as though it were written in sort of like a. I don't know. I don't know if you would know that you know the language. Then do you know that you know the language? You can read all languages. It
Yeah, just as I can read all writing, it doesn't say I know what language it is. To me, it probably
That's
just
so
shows
weird.
up as common.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's just you just know then that it's not undercommon. It's just yeah.
I picture like whatever it is probably translates itself on the page for me, so I don't actually know what language
That's
it is.
why I thought so too. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that we had the same idea about that. I'm going to pause right there with you guys, and we are going to go on over to Brandon to make sure that we know what's going on with him and Lady Grievish. Yeah, Lady Grievish.
don't flirt with him.
I don't think she will. I don't think I'm her type.
I think she'll flirt with anyone.
Yeah.
Probably.
A dragonborn? I don't know.
You don't know her.
Hey, she could call you Big D.
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus.
10 points for Justin.
Yep. 10 points for Slytherin. Alright. So, she appears to be talking more so with the twins, but then throughout a bit of the evening, she does look over to Jax and say, I take it Meira has already gone off wandering.
I believe she's around here somewhere.
One would assume. How is it that you came about meeting her anyway?
We never really went into specifics, right? We just kind of like met one day.
She hired you. Initially.
I hired you to help me get from point A to point B without
Yeah.
dying.
And then once you got there, you guys just continue traveling because you like the company.
Right. She hired me to help get her to a
Past the war key.
specific location, and she kind of grew on me, so I stuck with her.
Did that happen for all of your guys' fighting guild group? As she just sort of smiles and looks at the table just for sake of ease.
Yeah, actually it did. Slash actually hired us for another job, and same kind of deal.
Interesting. Who knows? I hired you guys for a job. Maybe I'll be the next member of the group.
Maybe. I don't know that she's her mom, right? She never told us that.
Correct.
Okay. Just making sure.
If you'll excuse me, everyone. I'd just like to be extra cautious for a minute. She flicks her nose a little bit and stands up, excuses herself from the table, and starts walking past you this way.
I follow her because I'm guarding her.
She stops. She lets you pass and just begins talking to you now in a much more secluded area, much more so drowned out by the rest of the noise from the party. She says, "So, what is it that you know of Meira?"
Honestly, not much.
Hmm.
Right? She hasn't, I don't believe she's told me a whole lot. I wrote some stuff down.
That's interesting. You know, I am very, very close with one of the members up there at the head table. And him and I are honest with each other about almost everything. So we
Okay.
trust each other with our lives. One would assume that if you and her are members of the same fighting group, honesty would be important to trust each other with your lives.
I believe that we're honest with each other. I haven't asked her much about her past. I don't find it necessary to know every detail of someone's life to trust them.
One could assume that we could go through life expecting never to have the past creep up on us. But sometimes when you least expect it, boom. There it is with Belzon.
And why are you so curious about Meira, if I may ask?
Let's just say I attended this party with Belzon. As she heads back to the table a little bit.
I think to the group that Lady Grievish is asking a lot of questions about Meira.
Don't worry about her. She's a curious person.
She's a nosy mother.
Yeah, that's fine. I do want to keep an eye out for the guards that are up near the head tables,
Okay.
and just like if they're ever kind of like distracted or start like walking away, I'd like to try and get up there and speak with somebody, but
Okay.
they may not. I just want to kind of keep an eye out for it.
I'll say that you constantly are keeping an eye on this group of people just for any sort of window like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because you can assume that the guards probably will not leave their posts there, but it could still be very likely that at any point throughout the evening, many of the members of this table will come around and start to dance or something, or mingle more personally.
Sure.
But yes, we go then back to Zash and Meira. And you guys head down to the next room?
Yeah, I'll head down, keeping an eye out, just seeing if there's anything weird.
Interesting you should mention. Which door do you go to next?
Let's see, there's you can't see my hands. There's a
No.
door to my
On the
left,
left?
and then
Yep.
there's
one door.
a hallway to my right.
Yes.
Might as well go through everything just to be thorough. I'll go to the door on my
Alright.
left.
Alright.
Can I check if it's locked and trapped?
Smart thinking. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead and
Investigation.
make an investigation check, yeah.
Wait, doing rogue things? I
Oh,
don't understand.
God. I got a natural 1.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice knowing you guys.
Zash takes a step back.
I
I'm not with her.
just kind of grab the doorknob and just yank it a lot. I'm checking for traps.
It does seem like it might have been locked, but without even knowing your own strength for some reason, you pull on the door and it just sort of snaps a bit of the wood. Like a small sliver, it seems. It doesn't seem like it was locked very well, but it would appear as though it were locked and you just snapped it open. You open up the door and inside you guys see a couple of a pew and a couple of sort of worshipping benches and what would appear to be an altar with a unmarked tombstone inside of it.
Is there any religious iconography that I might notice or know of?
Go and make an investigation check for us.
Too bad you don't have the paladin.
Yeah, I know, right? Investigation.
Yeah.
17?
Okay. You... What are your languages again?
Undercommon, Elvish, and Common.
I can read all writing.
But he can read all
That's
writing.
true. That's true. I keep on forgetting that. But because you more so checked, we'll say that yeah, it'd probably be Elvish anyway. It doesn't really say much about who it was, what life they lived. It just says rest in peace and forever live in the glory of the Valkyrie. Which would appear to be it.
There isn't any like religious
both of you notice that.
symbols or
Not as much. No religious symbols on the tomb as you guys start to approach it more and investigate. But the memorial itself has more prominent
you're
wings
cutting
than-
out a lot.
Sorry, the memorial itself has more prominent
I can only hear
wings
like every
than
few
most-
syllables.
Every How about now?
I think I can hear you okay now.
Okay. Yeah, it says it's green. The memorial itself has more prominent wings than most, winged angel kind of memorials. It would appear as though this is set up to be more of a Valkyrie memorial. But a little bit different than what you expect. It's not no amulet or symbol of the Church of Valkyrie. And almost all depictions of the Valkyrie always have that like sort of on their chest or something, you know? This stone creature does not have it.
Can I do an Arcana check?
And I
Yes,
would like
sir.
to check the tomb for any, or the coffin or tomb or whatever it is for any traps.
Alright.
14?
Here's hoping it's not a natural one. 14 for Arcana. You don't sense anything too magical about this. It seems to be more of a historical depiction. Like, sometimes in some of the really, really ancient versions of the Valkyrie, it would look sort of like this. You don't sense any sort of aura coming off any of the casket or anything. You don't get the depiction of any sort of arcane writings along anywhere. Again, there are just very few writings around the casket, and if you do see anything, it's very, very basic. Just forever, eternal, sustained. Things like that. Nothing really arcane, though, with it.
Thought there might be a tie to the amulet, but like it
And
belongs here or something.
For checking the casket for traps, I rolled a 16.
Okay. You do not sense any sort of traps. It does appear to be sealed, though.
Like, what type of seal?
Like, first they put a giant heavy slab of concrete on top of it, and then they sealed it over with liquefied concrete, which hardened in place.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get that open.
How loud would an eldritch blast at the tomb be?
Really loud. Really
Cool.
loud.
Cool.
So that's a no. Can I take a look at the statue and see if there's anything off about it?
Yeah, go ahead and make a
Just like the
just
physical
another
statue.
investigation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you walk around then?
Mother.
Do you walk up to it and walk around the tomb? Was it another natural
It doesn't
one?
matter. I rolled a natural one. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
You walk around this thing and you're trying to go around, and as you're trying to get around this corner here of the casket, you end up falling and end up smushing about half the candles, which all are lit, by the way. It would appear as though servants like have to light these constantly. These candles are like all lit, and you fall down smashing a good number of them. It's not like they burn you or anything. They just get smushed underneath your weight, but then you pull up and you have just different pools of now drying candle wax all over you. And the display is very, very clearly crumpled.
You were the least stealthy rogue I've ever met.
I flip you off.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the statue looks like a statue to you.
Yep.
It's a statue.
It looks like plaster. That's what it looks like.
It's a big statue. This room is larger than the last room too. That's another point of this. This room is a good bit higher.
Are the pews are the pews just made of wood, or do they have a cushion?
What you noticed? The pews were just made of wood.
Okay.
So then
There's any loose change.
Oh. That's so innocent.
That's what you do when you're a little kid at church. You see if there's loose change in the pews.
I thought that you were looking for something to wipe the candle wax off with.
Now I'll figure something out.
So do you guys leave?
Can I check out the altar?
Yes, you may.
Investigation again?
Yeah. Try and not roll a 1.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I also...
Better!
Yeah, you may too.
It's a 13.
17.
So I didn't roll a 1 this time.
Zash, you notice that someone has been here, I'd say within, like, a day. Someone was here, just kneeling at this altar for, like, a while. You can tell that it's been... The cushions are sort of still indented at the bottom where you kneel. It appears like a normal altar, though. A praying altar that someone would probably pay respects at.
No identifying information about who might have been here?
Nothing.
Like a stray hair or anything?
Stray hair. Let's do DNA forensics.
Some semen?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Looks like it belongs to Big D.
You do not find anything that is very relevant, because it's just a wooden altar.
Well, I'm gonna go back out into the hallway.
This is such a big place. It's gonna take forever to find anything.
I know! Especially if I keep rolling ones. While we're walking, can I get some of the, try and get some of the candle wax off and put it into the bag of holding so I don't get candle wax flakes everywhere?
Yeah. I'll just roll D20 for that, I guess.
Oh, God.
Let's see.
A 2. It's a 2.
You try and get it off, but it's that thing where it already seeped into the fabrics of your clothing. It's, like, there. It's not gonna flake off, because it's, like... It made it very oily, very, very waxy spots on the clothing, you know what I mean? And it just bound it so that it's, like, sort of hard, and you gotta wait until it, like, really dries, and then you can really wash it and get it out. But yeah, it's just...
Alright, for now I'm gonna take my like vest coat and turn it inside out and put it back on so it's not noticeable.
Okay. You guys continue down. Do you go left or right?
Well, I'm gonna pretend I can't see. Oh, do you want to split up?
Not really, but I feel like we need to move this along.
Alright, I'll go to the left.
Okay.
I'll go right.
Okay. Zash, you find what would appear to be a room full of guards' armor just lined up. Some of them taken off the display rack, some of them still on, and just a pile of mishmash of weapons. Not super tidy, but this is the armory for the capital. And in the case of an emergency, all non-armored or weaponed at the ready guards would run into this room and quickly repair. Sorry, hiccups.
Is there anything in here that's noticeably good, or is it all kind of just like junk, random guard armor?
It looks like mass-produced guard armor.
Okay.
Nothing
I need
it's
then.
better armor. It's studded leather and like studded leather shields. A couple of swords. No magical properties, it would seem, on any of them though.
Are there any? I gotta freaking get used to this new D&D Beyond. Are there any good, like daggers or anything, like smaller weapons?
No daggers.
Okay.
It would appear to just be swords, maces, crossbows, scimitars, and short swords.
I'm gonna think through my earring. Zash, what's that room? What's in
It's
it?
just a basic armory. Nothing great.
Are there any crossbow bolts?
Are there any crossbow bolts?
Yeah. There's an assortment of a few.
I take them.
Okay.
Is the crossbow just normal? Like a normal light crossbow?
Yeah.
I have a hand crossbow, so.
Wait, there are longbows. But do you mean specifically crossbow bolts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hand crossbow bolts. That's why I asked him.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, crossbow bolts are the same.
Because I said longbow, I thought that they were the that's what you meant, but yeah, no, sorry, no crossbow bolts. Only bow.
Okay, never mind then. I don't want a longbow. I've got a crossbow already. I just wanted a better one.
Gotcha.
Not that I ever used it. Sorry, no, just regular bows.
Nah.
Alright, and Meira, inside of your room. It would appear to be an actual, like, room. This is, it's sort of lived in. It appears to have some, like, bits of clothing or like, traveling bags strewn about the room a little bit, but this is just the idea of what the base room looks like, with a couple of wardrobes, chairs set up, a large book, and you don't know who this room is set up for yet, but go ahead and make a intelligence check.
Intelligence 6.
6. Yeah, it could be anybody out there, really.
Alright, I'm gonna take a look through all of the drawers and stuff. Just looking to see what it is, trying not to disturb anything.
Alright, go ahead and make an investigation check, and we're gonna go back to Jax while you do that.
Oh my god.
Jack's at the party now. It would appear as though more of a moment that you were waiting for has finally come, where members of the group are starting to converse. Mainly these 5 have come around. They're talking with different groups of people. Lord Eowyn, his wife, and what would appear to be his brother are talking to the some of the diplomats from the elvish town of Jakku. Then this random woman went over there, and Peter Flynn came over here and is now talking with Meira, Miller, Miss Miller, who, well, you know her as Lady Grievish, who appears to be flirting a good bit as she talks with him, smiling, you know, flirting up that Orlando Bloom. These 3 are just sort of standing here a bit, though, still.
Man, these guys are fucking weird. Those are the ones I want to talk to. I have no idea who they are. Okay, I think to the group, I may have an opportunity to talk to Flynn. Should I attempt it? Or Lord Eowyn.
Are they talking with anyone?
He is currently talking to Lady Grievish. And Lord Eowyn is talking to Jakku people.
I would say Flynn would probably be your best bet, just because I have a feeling.
You know more about this guy than I do. Do you have
I know Jack
Nice.
all about him. All I know is a name and a description that didn't add up.
All right. Over and out.
He says
But
that
you made that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. You walk over, and the moment you catch the peripherals of Lady Grievish, she says, "Oh, of course. Let me introduce the two of you. Flynn, this is oh my gosh, heaven forbid, I actually never caught your name. I only trusted you with my life. I'm so sorry. What is your name by chance?"
Jax.
Jax, of course. Jax, the Dragonborn. This is Peter Flynn.
I hold out my hand to shake his.
It's a pleasure to meet you, he says. As he shakes your hand, sorta, he's able to keep up with the strength that you unknowingly, sort of just naturally have in any sort of handshake. He's able to keep up with it a good bit and returns a very firm handshake back to you.
Interesting.
So,
Yes,
you're
very
a
strong.
member of the fighting guild, then?
I am a new member.
Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Without members like you, it would be impossible for this city to continue running. I mean, we draw for the Night's Watch, for the miscellaneous jobs here and there throughout town, and even for my own company, we draw from the fighting guild to make sure that we can have the hired help that is so very, very, very incredibly understanding and impressive to work with.
And what is it that you do for work?
I sorta head up the entire trade for all of the Citadel. For the past few months, I've actually been working in the town of Thornapple, as he gives a little smirk and smile toward Lady Grievish, making sure that things went smoothly with them, but I delegate and oversee all of the commerce that happens in and out of the city entirely, almost. It's up to me to make sure that everything coming in and out is exactly what we wanted.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of doubt he's lying, but I don't know. 19.
He seems to be very truthful with this.
Okay. And I don't think it was him. I really don't, but I divine sense.
Okay. While you're casting it, 30-foot sphere, right?
Yes. 60. And it happens instantly. It's one of my class features.
Does it just point out the nearest, or?
I don't
Any?
think I believe it's any within the 60-foot area, but I don't know. Okay, so it says that I know the location, but I don't know who specifically. So it probably points me in the direction, kind of a thing.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, you do not sense it from him. Line of sight has you that the direction of it is not coming from his way, but instead over to those three.
Oh, I fucking knew it.
Okay. He seems to be relatively good. In fact, it would seem that from this direction is coming the somewhat good person.
Interesting. Okay. What do you know of the three who are sitting back at your table?
Those three, they're quite a kept bunch indeed. All I know is that they got relatively close and personal with Lord Eowyn in the time that I've been away, and that's about it, really. I know that they're staying here at the castle, though. He set them up with a couple of rooms. Actually, they all took one room, which was quite interesting. It was a larger room, though, and they've just been... I mean, I don't dare ask the personal business of others, but you know, the three of them might have a thing going, who knows, but they're kept to themselves quite a lot.
Yeah. They do seem to be quite the odd group.
I suppose, not really my place to judge others, and I would assume not yours. You caught him off guard a little bit because they are still at the head table.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the... I kind of had a feeling.
It's gonna be a good night.
I know it's gonna look awkward because we're like in the middle of a conversation, but I think back to the group, that I believe it's the 3 unidentified weirdos at the table. That's the cause of the problem. I spoke with Flynn. He says they have a room. All 3 are sharing a room. Look for a big room that could accommodate for 3 people. He said that they got close to Lord Eowyn while Flynn was away in Thornapple.
Do you know if the room's inside the castle?
Yes, they are staying within the castle.
I kind of look around the room I'm in.
As you're saying all this, it's okay because Lady Grievous Sword took over the conversation just a little bit, and she's like,
Fair enough.
"Oh, but the time in Thornapple was definitely worth it, wouldn't you say?" And just conversing with him like that. And...
Then I just kind of like, it was very nice speaking with you, and just kind of like back off. And I'm still there, but I'm letting them have their space a little bit, and just kind of keeping an eye, making sure that I still look like I'm doing my job.
Yeah. And you. He says.
Question to the DM. With the description I got of Flynn, does it more match the portly gentleman at the table currently? Just in hindsight?
Huh.
Oh, and I also mentioned that Flynn seemed like a really nice dude.
Don't trust him.
I don't think you can fool my divine sense, though. Maybe. I don't know.
It might. From what you saw of him, and as you're thinking about that, because I would assume that Jax also told you that he's somewhat good, and that the bad thoughts were coming from these 3. I mean, some might describe it as a dad bod, but he's a bit more portly. It's a thought.
Does he have fluffy cheeks?
Fluffy cheeks? He does have large cheeks, but one wouldn't assume that with his looks anything would be described as fluffy, because fluffy seems rather innocent. His eyes sort of spell a bit more danger than anything else.
Dad bod's more about that mead gut, if you know what I mean.
Alright, so you guys moved from your 2 rooms?
Well, I was checking this one.
That's right. What was your roll?
I can't remember what like check you had me do, but I rolled a 9.
Investigation. 9.
Damn it.
You find clothes. Is a woman's clothes. It all appears to be a woman's stuff. Rather skimpy wear. A couple of fanciful dresses here and there.
Would it look like it would fit me, or would it be too big for me?
It looks like it might.
Are there a lot of them?
A number, yeah. There's good.
I'm gonna take one.
What are you looking for in particular? There are all sorts of designs of dresses, and all of them seem to be very nice quality too.
Is there anything red?
There is. Red is actually her favorite color, which
Nice.
I'm not making up because she's also wearing a red dress right now. But yeah.
I'm just gonna-
Random woman.
The random one!
I feel like Zash would come in here after he was done in the armory, but you can decide how long that takes.
Yeah, it'd be about now.
I'm just gonna take a random dress.
Okay. You take a random red dress out, and you're sort of sizing it up as you turn around, and alright, I'm ready. You look up, Zash, and you see Meira just like looking at clothes, just like holding it up against her front just to see if it would work, but caught off guard a little bit as she turns around.
Too much?
What are you going for?
Yeah, too much, and I pick up something else. I just grab something randomly.
Just something randomly. You pull out a blue dress, which, well, you pull out a blue article of clothing. That's it.
Blue.
Do you take a closer look at it? You don't.
No,
need
I
to
just
roll
put it in
for
my bag.
Oh, you just put it in your bag. Okay. You guys.
Blue clothing.
Yep.
Question mark.
Yep.
It's a medieval thong.
It's medieval.
It's the chastity belt from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
You guys make your way down. Then you guys take your next door.
Right or left? I'll go right this time.
There goes right.
You went right. Oh wait, no, you went. That's right. I can't. I don't know right and left. I'll go left.
You go left, Zash. Both of you make investigation checks.
Come on. Yes. 20 total.
20 total. Nice. Meira, you are in a sort of arcane study area setup. One would assume that it would look as though people come here to actually like work and study, and they're sort of going towards something. On some of these pamphlets, it talks a lot about the Valkyrie. A lot.
Is there anything that catches my eye? Like anything about an amulet, or like the Valkyrie are coming, or something like that?
Not about them coming, more so how to get to the Valkyrie. All of this is set up to study how to get to the Valkyrie. A lot of the other papers are written in all sorts of languages, which are being transcribed into Common at many of these different workstations. And then a couple of these in the back are more so set up to more so draw from all of those and research from all of those different transcribed things. It's interesting though, if you look over like one desk, it's, I don't know how to describe it, but like with the nat 20 you can tell, or not nat 20, but with a roll of total 20, you can tell that there's sort of like no two books are on the same, or no two research points are from the same book. Like, they're sort of, one would assume, at each workstation sort of being put to work with blinders on as to what everybody else is also working on in that room, you know?
Could I look at all the books and write down the names of all of them?
I would say no. These are,
They don't have a title page?
these don't have titles. They're ancient books. These are not ones which have already been transcribed and are kept in the Citadel library. These are antique, one of a kind lore and possibly historical recordings.
I think through my earpiece. I found a lot of books based on the history of the Valkyrie and how to get to them.
Should I unicorn horn Delilah?
That might be a bit of a ruckus. I don't know how the horn works.
Either.
That would be quite something.
Yeah.
Both of you make an Arcana check.
Just take a copy. It sounds useful.
They're all different books. Oh, God. 4.
1 sec. 21.
21. You know that it is a war horn. It would act as such.
Okay.
Exactly.
Take every copy then.
Just very suddenly, the ball is
Maybe
going
not
on
every
out
copy.
of nowhere. Jack's just.
I think people would notice sacred or not even transcribed text missing very immediately. And they would look for people who were there at the party.
There's a lot of people here.
Not as
No
many
one
as
knows
there
we're
should have
here.
been. Well, can I like skim through some of them and see if there's anything interesting that I can write down for later?
You could take one, slip it to me when you get back into the ballroom, and I'll put it in my bag, because I never left the room, and there's plenty of witnesses for that.
But there's multiple books.
Yeah, and then
Well, I'm
also
not saying
different
take
things.
all of them. I think you could take like 1 or 2. That'd be a lot less noticeable than all of them.
How many books are there?
I mean, one of each.
There are 5 books and 3 tablets.
There would be something. No, someone would notice if they went missing. If there are only 5 of them. Can I look at the tablets?
Yeah, they're right in front of you. They you do not recognize the writing. They are very ancient writing. Very ancient.
Zash, I need you in here so you can read some stuff. Are you done in your room?
Wait, is
let
it a
me
big
know
room?
what was in there, then I'll go over there. We can do a time lapse.
Yep.
Shoot. If it's a big room, look.
I got a
Staying in
17.
a big room.
You got a 17 for investigation?
Yeah.
Okay. You start looking around, and there appears to be lots of different suitcases. Clothing for men and women. A lot of it dark, a lot of it black clothing.
God, are they sharing a bed?
Yeah, there appears to only be 1 bed, 2 sofas, and
But it's all just clothes, nothing interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You don't find anything else aside from just their clothes.
Damn it.
They, kept this room rather pristine. It would appear as though they, had hardly even touched the place, and aside from a few, like, bags, which are still out sort of by the door, almost looking ready to go at a moment's notice, you would not be able to tell that anyone were even staying in here.
Okay. Well, then by that time, I probably get the call from Meira, so I go over there.
Okay. You head on over. It would appear this one, I know that we just decided that the spell doesn't tell you what language it is, but you still can tell what language it is as you're able to read it. Meira, you sort of had an inkling to it too.
I mean, realistically, I can see the language, and then it translates it before my eyes.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
think that way.
Exactly. You saw, like, the characters, and it seemed very similar because the characters are actually Draconish. Written in Draconish, which is said and believed to be the oldest language in the known world.
I know that language.
Go Draconic, phew.
So does my horse. He also knows that language.
Your horse doesn't speak.
He knows things.
He knows
Yeah.
things.
He knows things.
My dogs know a lot of language, too.
He's
I can't
he's a
talk to them.
celestial horse. Yeah, quit.
I can talk to your horse, too, so... Come at me.
Only if you speak Draconic.
No, I can talk to animals.
Yeah, but he only knows Draconic language because I choose the language that he understands, and I chose Draconic.
But
Good choice.
Technically, is he an animal or a celestial being? So you have to make the
Celestial
difference
being.
between that.
He is considered a celestial being, I believe.
That's true. I can't talk to your horse. I can talk
But
to my
anyway.
dogs, though.
Read
Anyway.
the tablets.
I read the tablets.
The tablets tell a story almost as if it were Egyptian hieroglyphs that you were able to read very easily. They tell the story of this vast, unclaimed land that the Valkyrie were thrown into by a devastating war. This war forced them to flee from where they lived, and when coming to the land, there were just babies of civilizations, of humans, of elves, of dwarves. The moment they arrived, the day that they came, was said to be the Glory Day, where they flew overhead and all the mortals witnessed as angelic beings lit up the entire sky with wondrous magic. These tablets record, though, that they were casting magical effects, protection shields and barriers, healing effects that did dazzle the sky a good bit with sort of a unnatural aurora borealis. They set up much of their civilization then in different areas throughout the land, split up into groups sort of amongst themselves, but from that moment, everywhere that they went, they were looked upon as gods. Some of them loved it, some of them craved it, some of them not so much. And in the end, the writing tells that the Valkyrie decided it would be best if they stayed in the heavens above Valkyrie, to no longer interfere with the everyday lives of the humans. Some of them were outraged at this. Some of them quickly fell from such obvious ascent. And were sort of taken into the Underdark. But this writing is so different from anything that you guys know about the history of the Valkyrie, because much of it is written so that they're these incredible beings who are watching over us, protecting over us, and will one day return. This tells that they're mortals. In so many hands, this would be seen as blasphemy. Destroyed the moment it was read. And that's why they look to be in such terrible shape. But these tablets have held up through time, through quite insane and extreme wishes of holding back such knowledge or writings or tales, tall tales, whichever you see it as. These have lasted for a long time, and they could be telling a different truth.
So you wrote all that down, right, Meira?
Well, it depends. Did you say that out loud or think it through the stones, or?
I mean, just, assume that everything Austin said was me saying it because the DM can't talk to you.
Well, as Rachel, she didn't write any of that down.
I was just joking anyway. I didn't either.
All right.
This is quite an extreme contradictive tale to what you guys have heard once again. And of course it will stick with your characters, so if you guys have any questions, just ask me, but your characters will definitely remember it for sure.
Yeah. So, should I take any of these books, or should we just leave with this information, at least from this room?
I don't think we need to necessarily take the tablets, but it's probably best to at least take, like, pages out of the books, maybe. Just things that sound important. But we probably shouldn't spend too long in this room, so it's hard to say.
Can I skim through one of the books to see if there looks like anything, pardon me, that stands out to me?
Do you just look at the cover? Do you start flipping through books? What are you doing?
I start flipping through pages of the book on my left.
Okay. This one here?
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Let me make sure it's just this. Yep. 4.
You reach out and start flipping through the page one by one, looking for anything that would catch your eye, catch your intrigue as you're looking through it. Looking for a particular phrase that might stand out, aside from Valkyrie or anything like that. And it's, of course, the one that's already been transcribed into Common. But as you're looking, the words on the page begin to blend, and your mind starts to sort of just wander. You're looking past the book suddenly, and you're still flipping, but it looks like everything comes very out of focus very quickly. You try to focus back in, but then you realize that you are focused in onto the words on the pages. As everything starts to blend in colors, and everything begins to blend in shapes, and then suddenly everything is just solid masses of blur. You cannot see your hand in front of your face. You cannot see the pages on the book. You cannot hear Zash breathing behind you.
Can I try and speak?
Yeah. You can speak. You can try.
Zash?
You hear her.
You said breathe, and I just pictured him breathing really loudly.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Do I hear that?
You don't hear any sort of response or anything.
Can I turn around? Do I see like a blob where he should be, or do I like not see anything? Am I blind?
You sort of see a bit of a darker blob. Everything appears to be rather dark in here, though. You just see sort of like lighter blobs where the lights are, and that's about it. You hold out your hand and you can feel him. Zash, I'm assuming, goes, yeah. And you don't hear anything. You can hold his arm and he's there. You can hardly see him though, and you cannot hear him.
Zash, I can't see you very well. Can you start talking? And I kind of put my hand over his face. See if I can feel his lips move.
Can I hear her?
Yeah, you can hear her.
Okay.
I said that.
Then I start asking if she's okay, and if there's anything I can do to help.
And Meira does not hear that.
Can you try thinking through the stone?
I still can't hear that, but I think through the stone.
You can hear that.
You can hear me, I just cannot
Yes,
hear you.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh right, okay, sorry. So yeah, I think through the stone. Jax, I think something's wrong with Meira over here,
And
and I don't know what to do about it.
Meira does hear that.
Like what's wrong?
I think through the stone. I can't see anything. I don't think I can hear anything normally, but through the stone, I can hear you both.
Try and make your way back here, and I might be able to help.
We're not done looking yet.
By the sounds of it, Meira can't see anything, so I don't think you're gonna find much.
And he thinks, Meira, what do you want to do? We have limited time to get this done.
I think that at least Jax should we need to keep looking. And I don't think it would be smart for me to try and wander back and try and sneak back. It would take too much time and we'd get noticed.
And I would be noticed leaving this room. Also, you don't trust the person we're with. I don't know if you want her left alone.
I don't want her left alone, but
If you feel comfortable continuing to look, I'm not going to make you come back, but I don't think it's very wise in case something were to happen.
it might be more noticeable if you heal me rather than if I just stay over here.
I could step out of the room quickly. You could think to me when you're back at the hallway.
Zash, it's up to you. Do you want me to stay with you or go back?
I can guide you, but you're not much use to me right now. Or to the mission.
I just don't want you by yourself because you could get hurt.
Never really cared about that before. Why start now?
I made a deal.
Always the White Knight. Zash disguises self as the jolly noble that he met earlier, and puts his arm around Mira's shoulder and guides her to the next room.
Okay.
Like they're kind of like, drunkenly like trying to find a bedroom or something.
Yeah. The next room to search. Correct? The next room to search?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, they're still searching. Okay then. Is Lord Eowyn still like just chatting about around here?
He is. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, let's go to you real quick. He is starting to make his way on over too, and starts talking now to Lady Grievish, as you know her, and Peter Flynn.
I approach them, and I turn to Lord Eowyn and kind of outreach my hand. It's an honor to meet you.
Ah, so kind of you to say. And then Lady Grievish once again. This is Jax. He is one of the members of the Fighters Guild who is sworn to protect me for the evening. Hopefully there won't be any need for the protection, but we very much so appreciate your service.
Very quickly, I think to the group, I'm gonna do something. It might be dumb. And I turn, and I'm still facing Lord Eowyn. Just out of curiosity, what is it that the 3 guests of yours at your table there do for you exactly?
Why is it that you ask?
Well, I have a knack for sniffing out bad eggs, and I got a very strong odor from those 3. And I just wanted to advise you to maybe keep an eye out.
Right. Well, I can trust that I can take my own advice as to who I can and cannot trust. Thank you very much.
That may be, but I tend to not be wrong with these things.
It is quite a bold statement to make on the first moment of meeting me, saying that 3 of my friends, who I've invited to one of the most prestigious evenings of the year, are bad eggs, as you would put it.
I mean, no disrespect to you, sir. I am just trying to look out for you and the benefit of all of your guests here. With the recent
Right. Well,
poison outbreak,
I would insist that you look out for the one you're hired to protect.
And I am with her as well by questioning these 3. I sensed a strong, dark presence from them, and that may endanger this lady here.
Right. Well then, if it's a strong, dark presence, I should have the best people look into it. But you, drink, be merry. But, of course, do what you're here to do. And that is all.
I just think to myself that this guy does not know what's going on. He's so fucked. But, alright. And I just kind of go back to keeping my post.
Okay.
Didn't create as much of a wave as I was hoping.
He sort of shakes it off and goes back to conversing with those 3. Yeah. You left a possibly bad taste in his mouth, but,
It's those 3 that should have the bad taste in your mouth.
Alright, do you guys go left or right?
I'm following Sash. I can't really do anything.
I can't really see the map, but I guess I wouldn't be able to as a character either. So
There's a door in front of us and a door to the left and to the right.
left.
Left. You guys walk into the left, and you guys see a huge potion room. Almost all of these, well, not almost all. Many of these are health potions. There are a couple of the more minute poisons, things like that, but it's mostly just random potions, whether if you need something to help you fly, if you need something to make you look young, if you need something to make you look fit, things like that.
Sash, what's in the room?
Basically, any potion we could need to do anything. Thoughts?
Well,
Oh yeah, I hear all of this now.
yeah. If we did take anything, I was just taking something that has a large quantity so that 1 or 2 wouldn't be as weird missing, nothing that only has one. But if we do take something, I should probably put it in my bag.
Take whatever you want. Lord Eowyn's a dick and doesn't believe that there's bad people, so...
Well, to be fair, if someone said that my friends were bad, I probably wouldn't believe them either.
If someone told you Zash was a problem, you wouldn't question it at all?
Well, I know Zash, and I would probably believe it. But
Right. And you would know
depends
your
on how they
friends.
perceive.
I'm literally your eyes right now. Cool it. So is there like an inventory journal or anything around?
There doesn't appear to be an inventory list, but there are common labels written on each of the jars.
Okay. But we could assume that probably no one knows exactly everything in this room.
It's possible.
If there's no inventory list.
It's possible.
Okay. The main things I would be looking for is possibly like potions of invisibility or something that could help us stealth through the rest of the mansion.
Go ahead and make
Maybe a
investigation
restoration
checks.
potion?
We'll say, yeah, just investigation.
18.
18. You find a potion of invisibility. Is that... What was your total roll? 17?
13 plus 5.
13 plus 5. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you find a potion of invisibility. And...
Just
I'll
real...
say...
Sorry.
No problem. You find a cure blindness potion, too.
Just really quick, can I do like a real quick Arcana check on Lord Eowyn just to see if he's maybe under a spell? Because for him to just straight up be like, no way do I even care what you think. So I feel like he would recognize me as a paladin. I feel like people should trust paladins. I don't know.
Yeah, you can... Fair enough. Go ahead and make our Arcana check, then.
Okay. Oh my god, yeah, nat 20. Probably
Yeah.
sounds nothing. Waste of a nat 20.
He's himself.
God damn it.
Sorry.
Nothing I can do is helping in this scenario.
You are our eyes and ears on the inside, my
Yeah,
dude.
there's a
Which
lot
means
that you're doing to
nothing.
help. You found
You're
out which
making
room
sure
was
we don't
theirs.
get caught. That's pretty important.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you found out which room was the other people's, and I
And
mean,
they found
without
nothing.
giving too much away, you are right. I mean, talking to them would help a lot, and yeah, no, there's a lot that you can do in this room. I'd say more than they could out there, possibly.
Not with the guards there, though. And I tried getting things stirred up. It's this whole thing. I don't know. I'll keep thinking of things to do.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I feed the potion of blindness to Meira.
What is this?
Potion of remove blindness.
Yes, that's what I meant.
I'm still deaf though.
You are. He did not find a potion of remove deafness.
I'll drink it.
Well,
I mean, you can hear us. That's all you need.
You take it, and slowly, just as the vision faded, it slowly returns. Things start going from shapeless blobs to just blobs, then just to colors, and finally, slowly, being able to clarify and focus.
But then you see this Ash is actually a rotund noble with his arm around you.
Yeah,
I kind of elbow you in the what I appear to be the
Wait.
stomach.
do me a favor. Go ahead and make a not Constitution. We'll say a Wisdom saving throw.
Her or me?
God,
Her
Okay.
mother
Because for
5.
5.
disguise self, it's an investigation check.
Yep. Fair enough. No, it's not
I
that.
would
It's
make it a 9.
Meira. As you come to, you do not put 2 and 2 together that this is Ash. You think
I
that...
elbow him.
Okay. You think that you're elbowing the rotund gentleman from out in the thing. Go ahead and make a straight up melee attack.
That would be plus strength, so that would be plus 0. 2!
2 to hit?
Yep.
Alright.
Nope.
Your vision's just coming back. Are you sure 2 doesn't hit Justin? I mean, I feel that would hit Zach.
It would kind of, I
No.
think it would pass through, like, whatever rotundness there was there.
My AC's gotten a little bit better recently.
It's now 5. You go to swing at him, and your vision just coming back. Actually, it was a natural 2, right? Yeah, you go to swing, and you sort of lose balance a little bit and stumble up into the door. You don't fall down, but yeah, you are out of it, and now your equilibrium is a good bit off too, because you're.
And he braces against you like with an arm. It's like, Meira, it's me. What are you doing?
I still can't hear you.
The thoughts.
Oh, the thoughts?
You said that you say that though.
Yeah.
There's no way to specify.
Fair enough. I mean, you say it out loud, and you realize that there's no response, and so she looks at you a bit confused, and then you're like, oh, I gotta think it, and you think it out in the thing.
Yeah.
I just flip you off and start looking around and see if I find anything useful.
You're welcome for the blindness cure, by the way.
I'm still flipping you off.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Come on. Natural 20.
Wow.
Yes.
You find a cure deafness potion hidden on one of the
Hey.
bottom shelves of one of the things. And was there anything else in particular that you were looking for within Realm of Reason?
I was just looking for anything interesting.
Anything interesting? Then we'll say that you find a purple worm poison as well.
I put that in my bag and I drank the deafness potion.
Make sure you don't mix those two up. That would be.
I'm
not
sure they look
pleasant.
completely different.
Purple worm is a very, very dark purple. This one is like a little maroon red kind of thing. All right. So then you guys move on to. Yep. What's up?
Next thing I want to do when we get to me is just approach who we assume is Lord Eowyn's brother.
Okay. Is that all that you guys are gonna do in that room?
Can I look around and see if there are any trapdoors?
Yeah, investigation check.
Natural 1.
You're very cautiously walking over every tile. Just look around. You don't see anything. Actually,
I've got a 3 for 3
it
with
is a
20s and
natural
1s.
one. It is a natural
Yep.
one. So you do something really funny. As you're trying to walk over all these little things, this actually happened to me the other day when I was setting up. I was like, wow, that's funny that that actually happens. As you were walking around to set all these things, to take a look for these secret things, you sort of lose your balance here and watch as it... Wait, come on. No. Oh, come on. Boom. Knocking over all these shelves of potions. It worked perfectly the other day when I didn't need it, and now that this happened, yeah, all these potion shelves just knocking each other over, and potions go spilling out onto the ground, pulling up around you.
Can I do an acrobatics check to try to grab a few of the potions before they break?
Yes. But then I also need both of you to make a dexterity saving throw, and Justin, then that would be with disadvantage.
Okay. Well, acrobatics is 12.
Yeah,
so
your
I'm not
first
sure how well it
acrobatics.
does.
Okay, yeah, you catch 2 potions with that.
Awesome.
One of them we'll say is a potion of luck. Another one
Oh, man.
is a Potion of water breathing.
Okay, hold on. I got excited because I rolled a natural 20, and then I realized it was disadvantaged, so it doesn't matter. But let me write that down real quick. You said a potion of luck and a potion of water breathing?
Yes.
Are you keeping that on your person?
Yeah, I grabbed them.
Cool. I did have an 8 on my deck save.
Deck save of 8. Nice.
When
So
it
that
rains,
is
it
really
pours.
20 because I rolled a 17 and a 20 for the
Total
deck save.
Gotcha. So it's a very incredible move by Jax looking as this rotund, or Zash, sorry, that's the third time tonight. Zash looking like this rotund gentleman as he jumps up into the air, catches 2 of these vials off one of the shelves, and leaps off the shelf back out right by the door, able to avoid this pooling of liquid that's now starting to glow and sort of effervescently give off a bluish hue. As Meira, unfortunately, trying to get out of the way of this, seeing what she just did, tries to walk around the side of it, ends up slipping, falling, and Meira, you take 5 points of health.
Oh my god.
5 hit point damage.
Golly.
I would say of well, I don't even know what this is, actually I'd say necrotic damage.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'd make it 26 I'm at. Oh,
Does
God.
Ash gracefully lands with 2 potions in his hands
Yeah.
and sees the thing in front of him, just goes, "Didn't I say that you were the worst rogue ever?"
I stand back up. I kick him in the shin if I can.
Yeah, go ahead and make another, I don't know what that'd be, another melee attack. Just strength.
Well, it doesn't hit because it's a natural 2.
Natural
Wow.
2. You should really change the dice out.
I'm changing every time.
Oh, well then you should
I
have stuck
rolled
with the
another
ones that
dex
gave
and
you
got
20s
a
at the
9,
beginning.
so...
Yeah, yeah.
They've all been either giving me
You-
great rolls or screwing me over.
Wait, it was a total of 9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Still, really anything less than 5 and you get affected by the water, but, then it's not as cool as it could look when you land it, but yeah, you don't fall into the water, or liquid.
No, I mean when she hit me. I rolled a 9.
Gotcha.
I'm
alright.
seeing what I did. I'm going out the door and going back to grab those 5 books.
Yeah, at this
I've
point.
already made a mess.
Why would you grab the 5 books? You touched one and went blind and deaf.
I started reading when I went blind and deaf.
And I'll go into the to the right room.
Okay.
I kind of like use my coat and grab it with my coat and put it in my bag.
So like this first
It's
one
not
here,
touching
you grab?
my skin. I want to grab all 5.
Okay, this first, which one do you go to first?
The closest one, and I'm using my coat, so there's at least a layer of cloth in between where I grab it.
Yeah, you go to grab this first one. Go and make a Constitution saving throw.
Mother Hubbard, okay.
And Zash,
Mother-
you walk into this room here, and you see just barrels and barrels of the very fanciful wine and the ale that you guys are having. You walk into here, and you see what appears to be crates of all sorts of food, many of them which have been torn into, other crates which have yet to be opened but look newer, things like that. This is more so the food and drink storage. What did you roll, Meira?
4.
A 4. Alright.
I'm gonna die, y'all.
No. How do I put this lightly? You go to grab it, and as you're, like, turning away, your body slowly freezes up. And slowly, you sort of feel like you just lock into place. You are paralyzed.
I think. Zash.
While Meira says this on the headphone, we're gonna go back to Jax now. Jax, you wanted to go over to this gentleman, and this was happening simultaneously while they knocked over all the potions and stuff. Luckily, none of the guards heard that, which was really, really good news for you guys. But you go over to his brother then. while they're searching and before they tipped over everything, where did his brother go? Here. His brother is over here with his wife. And you just approach him?
Yeah, and I do the same thing kind of that I did with Lord Eowyn. I outreach my hand, and it's an honor to meet you, sir.
Oh, that is very, very kind of you indeed. What shall I call you? What is your name by chance?
My name is Jax.
Jax. And I apologize, I don't know everybody here. You're, Diplomat or noble? Or...
I'm a bodyguard for Lady Grievish.
Ah, very, very nice. Member of the Fighters Guild, nonetheless.
Right.
Incredible. It looks like you can hold up your own quite well in the heat of battle.
I like to think so. And he kind of puffs out his chest.
I am Scorny.
What was that?
Shorny.
Shorny?
Shorny. Sjorni. I am Shorny Eowyn. And this is Lord Eowyn's wife, Cora.
Lovely to meet you. And I reach out my hand to her.
Such a gentleman. And yourself.
What is it the three guests of Lord Eowyn's at the table there do around here? I've never seen them, and I'm just curious.
Yes, don't even get me started on that. It was a rather strange occurrence, them meeting him, but he grew liking to them, I suppose, and now the highlight of the year, he has them sitting up there at the front, and I don't see what the attraction is, really. They just don't even talk. It's not that I don't like them, I don't know them. Yeah, I feel rather the same about that group. They're an odd bunch. Very rarely eat, very rarely drink.
And you said it was strange how they met. How so?
It was just over past couple of months ago, really. I don't know. It was just something about the entire encounter. First thing I know is that he says that he's heading down to the city. And next thing I know, he says that he has a good group of friends that he met down there who are just incredible, I forget what the exact word they used was. It was huge potential individuals kind of thing. I don't know what for, and next thing I know, he has them over for dinner, and of course we weren't in the grand ballroom here. We went to dining room upstairs, but they spoke that night just as much as they have tonight. But he was so enthralled by them.
And do you by chance know where they come from?
I don't. Come to think of it, I mean, we at the Citadel get people from all wanders of Valkyrie, but I haven't talked to them enough to find out.
Do you know of anyone here that may know more about them? Or would I be allowed to approach them myself?
I'm not so sure, but why is it that you're so curious?
To be completely honest, with my paladin training, I have the ability to sense strong senses of good or evil, and I did a little investigation previously as part of protecting Lady Grievish, And as I passed those three there, I sensed a heavy darkness from them. I'm just concerned.
I hate to say it, but something about the group of them always gives me chills.
I tried bringing it up to your brother, and he just would not have it. He didn't want to believe any word.
Yes, tell you what. Let's all go have a chat with them ourselves. All together. No need to worry about the guard.
Awesome. I think to the group, I'm in.
Just be careful.
You guys begin to walk over. Yep. And as you guys do, what is the meaning of this, Cora?
Oh, shit.
Well, this gentleman says, I know what he said. I got an earful from him earlier. Sir, is there anything you'd like assistance with?
Fuck.
Yes.
Think to the group, trouble.
Please escort this man out of here immediately. Now hold on there. I invited him over here myself. After all, your new friends haven't said very much since the moment they got here. And if he, a trained paladin, can sense evil in them, then how can we just let that go? Sir, is that true? No, of course it couldn't be true. After all, how could it be true when you have the protective shield around the city, protecting us from any such evil? Now, Cora, we talked about that. I know we talked about it. It was quite an interesting development, wasn't it? The shield that went up over the last month to protect from the evil, you said? But one of my friends wasn't allowed through that shield. One of my friends who I've known for a very long time. And you claim that these people are your friends, but you haven't known them for more than a few fortnights. How do you explain that? Cora, we will discuss this at a later time. Nonetheless, I pay your salary. I wish for you to escort this gentleman out of here.
Fuck.
Now hold on a minute there, brother. All he wants to do is talk to these folks. The least we could do is allow them to have a bit of a conversation, couldn't we? Without needing to bring out some cold steel in the middle of it. Fine. If you guys just want to talk, then we should have a conversation. You two can go into the other room. Do you hear anything? Come out.
I think to the group, I'm about to talk with the three weird people. Do you have any questions that I should ask?
I like how you hold your temples when you're role playing thoughts.
We should do that. So we know if we're actually talking.
Right. That's how you know which one I'm doing. If I'm talking, if I'm thinking.
Well,
It's a visual cue.
well, I heard a good bit of that.
Wait, who's talking now?
This guy.
Okay.
He has such a
Yes,
soft
I'm-
voice.
I am so sorry about this. So, you think that you can sense evil within us? What
Such a
makes you
classic
think
villain
that we can
voice.
sense- What makes you think that we are evil? he just growls, yeah.
Well, I am a trained paladin, and I do have the ability to sniff out great evil. And when I did a pass by, you three kind of lit up.
Great evil, you say? We are no more than friends of Lord Eowyn. Travelers from outside these lands, yes, but since when has then that been put up for persecution? We come here in peace. We just wanted to be at the festivities for the evening.
I've spoken to a few people, and it seems that you all give off a strange vibe. You don't talk, you don't eat, and you hardly do anything. I mean, where exactly do you come from?
This is the most I've ever heard out of them for the entirety that they've been there. And you are staying at our house. I too would like to know where you're from and what exactly it is that you would like.
I think to Jax, you didn't sense anything undead about them, correct?
Thinking back, I did not. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me... I read off everything I can sense, right? And you said it was none of those?
Correct.
Celestial, Fiend, Undead.
They were
okay.
humanoids. Everybody was humanoid.
It's really weird how you said, though, that they don't eat or drink.
Yeah.
That made me nervous.
That's what, like, I was going to ask if maybe there was anything I could have heard of, but, I mean, I feel like that could be, like, undead. That could be...
That could be a lich. That could be a vampire. That could be a lot of things.
Right. And then, like, are vampires considered undead? I don't know.
I think they are. I'm not sure. I'm not sure in the D&D sense.
Right. But anyway, sorry.
No worries. We come from outside of the world of Valkyrie, yes. We've traveled many, many, many years over the vast oceans and the sea of consciousness.
Why is it that this one doesn't speak?
It was quite an unfortunate incident. Where we're from, slavery is much more common than it is here. He was taken as a slave, made to work for labor, and had his tongue ripped out in disobedience. Tragic, really.
I probably don't know much about any lands outside of Valkyrie, right?
You do not know much.
Okay. I think to the group, do you know anything about lands outside of Valkyrie? Specifically, slavery lands.
Would we?
You guys know that I mean, it's a larger world. I mean, Valkyrie is more so a they constantly call it the world of Valkyrie, but it's a continent. And on the continent is the different areas, but there are other places beyond it, but most travel between them takes forever. So you'll very, very rarely find people who travel from one location to the other, or even
like, are we talking months or weeks or?
Definitely years. And it's interesting because most of the other areas are rather closed off to a lot of magic. Not that, like, you know, they don't allow it. It's just like, for some reason, teleportation to the other areas just doesn't work. So it's very, very rare, and a lot of rumors have sprawled out from that. Even so that if you guys did feel like you learned something from it about the other lands, you can't really trust that without knowing for yourself.
Would you mind if I used a spell to see if you're telling the truth?
Now, surely, this is ridiculous.
I just need to make sure that you're not here to harm anyone.
Lord Eowyn, I thought that we had an understanding. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I mean, I told you that you guys would have sanctuary and that you guys wouldn't have to worry about your horrible past ever since you guys arrived, but surely it would be ridiculous to subjugate some of the most highly trusted and regarded people in this city with such hypocrisy. Yes, but why are they so highly trusted and regarded when most of us have no idea who they are? I had to spend the whole evening sitting next to them, and they'd never spoken to me any words like they have at this very moment. I'd like to hear more about what they have to say. And I would too, brother. I feel like it wouldn't be too difficult to just get to the bottom of it a little bit. If you just allow it. Now, there is where you are finally correct. Whatever happens in this capital, I must allow. For my word is law, and I still find it absolutely ridiculous that you, a simple fighter, could stand up here and point such accusations at these people.
If you trust them so heartedly, then what is the harm in me just casting a simple spell that will assist them in speaking the truth? If you believe them, then what they're saying shouldn't worry you at all, and it should just be a matter of a few simple questions, and I'll be on my way, and I promise not to bother anybody ever again. I just need to make sure that the guests here are safe, more specifically Lady Grievish, the one that I was hired to protect. I sense great evil off of these people, and I need to pursue that till I know for certain.
I remain. I think it would be best if you left. Now surely, honey, you cannot possibly... He holds up his hand, and she stops speaking. Brother, what has gotten into you? We have no idea the kinds of spell that this lizard could try to cast.
Whoa, buddy.
For all we know, he could doom us all. For all we know, he could cast Meteor Storm and we'd all die.
Fair enough. I assure you that is not my goal. I just believe that if these people are here to harm somebody, they need to be stopped.
He whistles. These two guys come out. Once again.
Can I... Fuck.
You got
There's no way to, like,
what did you want?
see...
What were you asking? Could you do?
There's no way to, like... I just quickly cast Zone of Truth.
Oh shit.
It's a 15-foot sphere. And they do make a charisma check, but fingers fucking crossed.
Is it a charisma save or charisma check?
Sorry, save. And the DC's 14.
One makes it. The woman. The second one.
Ah, nice. And I just turn and yell to them. Are you here
well, hold
to?
up. Does it affect you
Yeah.
at all?
I don't believe so.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Does it affect the
You
caster?
also have to make the save.
Okay. I don't know what I would have to lie about, but all right. I fail it.
Because I'm checking for everyone.
Well, it just makes
that's fine.
everyone be honest. It's not so much
She
that you have
makes it.
anything to lie about.
It's 14, you said?
Yeah.
Lord Eowyn just makes it. Rolled a net 14.
Okay.
7 for his brother, who does not make it, and then the 2 knights. Well, that fell. 18, he makes it. He does not. Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, and part of the spell is I do know who succeeds and who fails, just so you know. And they can resist telling the truth. So like they can just choose not to answer, but they can't lie.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay.
How?
And I
Okay.
quickly turn to the one dude, and I'm just like, "Are you 3 here to harm these people, or anyone within the city?"
This guy?
I'm just kind of like shouting it to all 3 of them, but I know that the woman didn't succeed. I mean, she did succeed.
He just does not answer.
Oh shit!
As
Not a
you
good
say
sign.
that, Lord Eowyn says, "How dare you do that? Guards, take him away!" And the 2 guards come up. This one's gonna come up and,
Please, fuck, what's his brother's name? Sojourny, however you fucking say it.
Sojourny Weaver! Tell me Sojourny!
Is it Sorny?
Shorny.
Shorny.
S-J-O-R-N... Wait. Shorny. S-J-O-R-N-I. S-K-J.
Shorny.
S-K-J-O-R-N-I.
Jesus, just make this more complicated.
Yep, I just keep on adding letters as I go. Shorny.
You need to get your brother away from these people. Because he did not answer to my question, that means he is avoiding the truth, and that is not a good sign. He could be here to harm you or everybody here. Just please. It is not safe with them here. And I think to the group,
He's
the
already
same
cast Zone of Truth, I can tell. I've been affected by it. The spell has been done. What hurt would it have to ask them a few questions?
it does last 15 minutes, by the way.
This guy came up and he tried to grapple you, by the way. He did not. he rolled a natural one. He tried to grapple you, but you just shoved with your shoulder a little bit and he fell back onto the ground. And Lord Eowyn sort of gives a bit of a long, exacerbated, not necessarily eye roll, but more of a just closed eyes sigh. Fine.
I think to the group quickly. Quick, I have them in Zone of Truth. Any questions? I asked if they were here to harm people. They didn't answer. Bad sign.
Ask if any have been to Silent Drew recently, within the last 2 months.
Lord Eowyn
Have any
walks
of
up
you-
and he reiterates your question. Are you here to harm people? As he just looks at this one guy. Yes.
Oh shit.
What?
I'm just like this.
What do you mean? What is your sole intention? What is it that you've been doing while I've been giving you all that access?
Oh, that fucker's gonna die.
I am thinking stuff to the group, by the way. Like, whatever I learned, that they are here to hurt people, that kind of stuff.
It would probably have no use keeping up this anyway.
My God.
Jax, I think
You guys
Jax.
might want to get back here, I don't know.
Jax, get to the people we're protecting and get them out of there as quickly as you can.
But we need to stop these people. I need to make sure that they're stopped.
Our job is to protect those 3. Get them out.
But our true goal was to stop these people.
I don't fucking care. Get out.
I'm sorry, Meira, but the true objective was to stop these people, and I have to abide by that.
I can't move.
Zash could hear us.
I mean, I can't just leave her here. We're not even
Yes,
supposed to
you
be here.
can.
I'm not asking you to leave her there. You can grab her, get out, and you can take the others with you, but
He's
I
not
have to
strong
make sure
enough.
that these people are stopped.
Jax, go help. This will wear off eventually.
I am helping.
I meant Zash, gosh darn it. God, I'm sorry.
You guys watch as this
Of course
whirlwind of magical
Alright.
energy spills up around them.
Oh my fucking god.
You quickly watch as the large
It's
brute
these
quickly
guys.
changes into an elite warrior of the Drow. The woman transforms into a priestess, and the guy transforms into something you've never seen before. Wearing
shit.
mage's cloak and robes, this would appear to be a Drow mage.
Oh shit.
Well,
My god.
isn't that more comfortable? Yes.
My god.
You gave us plenty of access to your wharfs and to your trading centers. And we've been bringing in a few items of our own. A few items that were additional and we knew wouldn't be too looked at. These are simply the items to ensure that the power that is coming can grow. These were items to ensure that the death and the toll of all the life could feed him. So it was you. You're the ones who poisoned the city. Incidentally, we didn't. But in a way, we contributed. We ensured that there were plenty of additional plants that grow such poisons, growing all around. Those were simply some radicals within your borders that we were able to persuade to make special little ingredients out of it. It was not our sole intention, but it did work out quite nicely, and now we have all the poisons ready to go throughout other parts of the city, and from such an incredible trading hub that you've created here, we can access anywhere in Valkyrie. How dare you? You said when we met that the access I gave you would be only used for good. I said when we met that I would give you what you wanted, and I have. In fact, it's completed. You could go up to the very top of this Capitol building and visit them any time that you wish. From this very point on. He snaps his finger. And all of a sudden you guys hear that most of these people are a bit scared, but you guys hear this big whirring coming from out in the very center.
Shit.
They're all sort of now starting to move away from that area a good bit and move over to this side a bit more, but it's coming out from over here. He says, anytime that you wish, you can leave this plane and go visit the Valkyrie. That is what you wanted, and we have delivered
Oh
it.
shit.
And now, you've delivered us exactly what we wanted, and there's no more need to hide. I trusted you. I know, that's what made it so easy. Guards! Guards, arrest these people! These things! Take them out of here right now! The two guards run up. This one, is quickly struck.
I have my sword ready, and I whisper
Yeah.
Badger to it.
You guys watch as very, very quickly, and suddenly, these black portals open up in the ground, and these black tentacles come flying out of it. Upwards, they quickly grab onto both of the knights and just slam them into the ground. Both are knocked unconscious immediately by this.
You guys need to get here really quick. There's some crazy shit coming on the floor.
You guys
I'm coming.
How long have I been paralyzed?
Um,
I don't know how long it lasts.
about a minute.
Can it last? Oh, okay.
It can last like an hour.
The hour-long one. We're
Oh
fucked.
god.
Yeah.
I don't know how far away I am to know how many minutes or seconds it takes, whatever. How many rounds?
I don't know. For an hour-long effect, though, that would be a long time.
Is there any way for me to
No,
try
me.
and try
Oh,
and
for
Me
you?
to get back to Jax.
Oh, then you just use actions
You
to
gotta
dash.
just ditch me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how long that would take, but I'm on my way.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Would there be any me for to retry the save, or no?
I would say that
Just because some things you can save try to save every action, but other things are just you save once, and you do or do not make it.
I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna say no with that one, unfortunately. But
That's fine.
But she goes, "Honey, what have you done?" "I have no idea," he says. "Sure you do. You've given us everything that we need. Everything."
Can I like step up
For
and
him to
try and
rise.
guard Lord Eowyn a little bit?
Yeah. You step up like this. But he says, "And now that we have the power, we will take control of the city. Starting with this very room." You guys watch as these tentacles continue to spill out different areas within the room. Just one by one, it lifts the partygoers, the nobles, the diplomats up into the air as they're screaming out, terrified.
Can I cast something?
You can next week. That is where we're
Oh
going
my
to go ahead and
God,
end it.
No.
That is it, guys. I'm sorry, it's 9 o'clock. I know. I know. But we finally got to it. The big battle. Ah! A big battle. It's not the big battle. But it's a big battle. Ah! Thank you so much for watching, guys. We really hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was so awesome for you guys to like watch and stay tuned and be a part of it. We try to bring you guys new stuff each and every week, and we hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. It is free to follow here on Twitch. It is also free to follow on YouTube, where all these get uploaded to. Of course, the Twitch channel is www.twitch.tv/TheMajesticGaming, GAMINOG, as well as the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheMajestic, where you can find all this stuff uploaded to, links in description of a bunch of other things. But we hope to see you guys again soon. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.